Islands Society of Human Resources Professionals takes place. Can you share with our listening audience and viewing audience via YouTube some details of this upcoming conference?
So as you indicated, Sabrina, the conference takes place this year over the 30th and 31st of May. Our venue this year is Ritz-Carlton. They were delighted to have us back this year, actually, because for a number of years, in the early days of the conference, that's where it was hosted. So we're back at the Ritz-Carlton. The theme this year is Connecting the Dots. Again, in keeping with our commitment to our members and to the local community, we always strive to come up with a theme or topics that are relevant to us locally in our business environment, our communities. And connecting the dots, we thought was a great way for us to highlight a number of different areas. So this theme combines topics such as governance, diversity, achieving advancement, crafting culture, and committing to our communities. We live in an ever-changing world, and as HR professionals and businesses, we definitely have to be connected to all aspects of our communities. So that theme really resonated with us this year, and that's how we've pulled together our marketplace and our speakers.
Now, connecting the dot is quite appropriate, understanding where we're going as a community. But, what will be the whole objective of coming together each year for a conference of this nature?
So one of the things that the Society of Human Resources Professional is proud of is our commitment to aspiring HR professionals, seasoned HR professionals, and just bringing the networking opportunities. So when we do our surveys at the end of the conference, usually the feedback is one of the top reasons that I attend the conference is for networking, but also for personal advancement. So they want to learn tips of how they can better themselves, things that they can apply immediately in the workplace. And that's what we aspire to do when we bring the speakers to them, is to ensure that they have access to this type of information and they feel empowered once they've left the conference.
So who are some of the keynote speakers, or who are the keynote speakers that will be sharing their knowledge with attendees at the conference?
So we have a number of speakers. I think it's about 30 speakers in total over the course of the 2 days. So the first day basically is a workshop day. So last year we attempted to change it a bit in terms of our format. Traditionally, the conference was a one-day event with a number of keynote speakers. But what we found as well is a number of our attendees preferred the interactive sessions, and it's quite easy for us to find speakers who could offer those types of workshops. And so day one is really a half day. It's 10 sessions, so we have 2 running concurrently. And some of those speakers, there's a combination of local and international speakers for that, the first day. So we have Tim McConnell, who is one of our international members actually from Canada. He owns a consulting business and works with a lot of our companies here and overseas. We have Ron Johnson from Barbados, who is another he's becoming a more familiar face here. His company actually partnered with us and is providing sponsorship this year. Rosie Dunford of Stepping Stones, providing some tips on the new face of recruitment. We also, this year, decided that we wanted to showcase a little bit more about the work that we do as a board. And one of the things that we wanted to highlight was our Top Employer Awards. And so the recipients this year of both of the awards for the small business and the large business category are doing presentations.
Oh, that's nice.
So we have Mr. Rajkumar Singh from the Department of Commerce and Investment, and then we have the representatives from KPMG who are actually going to share tips for other businesses who may be interested in learning what are the things that are involved in becoming a top employer. How does that application process work? Right. And we really want to showcase them as model employees. They've earned that kind of bragging rights, and this is another opportunity really for us to celebrate with them this accomplishment.
Excellent.
Day 2 then is a full lineup starting very early in the morning at 8 o'clock. Our registration breakfast actually starts at 7:30. Mr. Manderson, the Honourable Franz Manderson, is on board again this year. I think this might be his 3rd year coming on board, and he's offering his opening remarks. We've been in touch with him. He's recovering well.
He'll be mended.
Yes.
All well.
I had a conversation with him just a few days ago, and he said, I'm starting to feel like France again. So that was quite quite refreshing. Our attendees often, have come to really look forward to hearing from him at the conference.
Right.
We have, again, a combination of local and international speakers then for day 2. Our morning keynote address is Mr. Shamari Scott. So he is a local celebrity in his own right.
In his own right.
Yes. And then later in the morning, we have a panel discussion with multiple speakers. So that topic is more around enhancing resilience in the workplace through entrepreneurship. So we have a combination of speakers there. We have Ms. Gloria McPhail-Nixon from the portfolio of the Civil Service. We have a couple of other business professionals. A gentleman from DART will be on that panel talking about how they embrace that type of culture. We also have the global head of HR for the Kimpton, Ms. Ginny Tu, who is flying in for this as well.
Nice.
To support and offer her take on that topic. One of our international speakers, Miss Alison Manswell, she's coming in to talk about Conversations Matter, connecting beyond difference. So again, just in line with our theme, we have the Gender Equality Committee. We have 2 representatives from that committee. We're delighted that they're on board this year to share their 2019 results of the most recent survey. I understand from that group that they have some interesting comparisons from the first survey. Right. So we're delighted to have them there. We have Mr. Eric Jenkinson. He is owner of a consulting business, essentially, Management Solutions. They have a presence around the world. Here in Cayman, he has a presence, but he also has a presence in Bermuda and Ireland, where he's from originally. But his topic is more around connecting to our communities, and he has a very powerful story about some work that he does in Africa. Mr. Richard Solomon is out of Trinidad, and he is doing a session on the signature service strategy. So really, powerful message around, branding and customer service internally. We have another panel in the afternoon as well, which we're excited about. That one is a little bit different from what we would have normally offered. Go ahead. Yeah. And so that panel, we have our moderator for that panel is Mr. James Maya from the Youth Services Unit. And he is actually, we've gotten 2 young persons to speak on that topic for, overcoming barriers to employment. So the perspective of the young persons. We also have 2 kind of seasoned professionals in their own right in different areas. So Miss Teresa Echenike, Deputy Chief Officer from Ministry of Community Affairs. So she's had a lot of interaction and work, through her previous role and her current role, understanding some of the barriers that, you might experience in employment. And then Mr. Michael Miles is also on that panel. Obviously, through his work, he has a lot of, personal stories to share. And then we have a keynote address in the evening from Miss Jill Dark. So she is our afternoon keynote address, Crafting Culture, Creating a New Experience. So she is one of our international speakers, that we're delighted to have. So she's from Steelcase.
Now, persons can get all of this information on a website, I assume, because there's a lot going on in 2 days.
Yes.
I applaud you and your team for getting this together.
So we have the agenda on the website, and our website is www.cishrp.ky. And a lot of the registration information is on there. More information about the speakers. So we've been sharing bios for some of the speakers. The speakers and their information is going to be in our program for the day. But we've been sharing highlights of the speakers, just who are our keynote speakers and those who are going to be involved throughout the day.
Now, there will also be a conference marketplace that'll showcase different organizations. Can you share with us what that's all about?
So basically, we have around 15 registered business, and we still more people are expressing interest on joining the conference this year. Oh, I'm sorry. So basically, we just be showcasing, like you said, different businesses, what they do, what they sell, things like that.
What is the process like if one wants to actually get an opportunity or to be a part of this event, be a part of the marketplace?
Well, about 2 or 3 months ago, I sent out like a email of interest to the individuals, asking if they wanted. Some of them were already part of the program last year, so asking if they wanted to come back again this year, and then newcomers as well. So basically, an email highlighting what the conference was about, the businesses, the speakers that were going to be there, that sort of stuff.
What does a table cost or a booth?
The standard booth started at $2,000, and then we had the premium one, which was the $3,500. This included the 2 days ticket, as well as passes for 2 attendees.
Okay. Now, who can attend this conference?
Anyone can attend the conference. So there is a special rate for our members. Obviously, that's a benefit that we extend for our members. But essentially, anyone can attend the conference, and that's one of the things that's inspired us over the years. Is we have a number of business owners who are not members but want access to the information that we share at the conference. Want to experience the networking. In the last few years, we've had I think. Last year and the year before, we've had in excess of 60 civil servants, as an example. And so the conference is highly supported by persons who would not, always typically work in the HR environment, but, want to develop and want to network and want to experience what the conference really has to offer.
Excellent. If you're just joining us, good morning. You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we put the spotlight and hear more about the 16th annual Cayman Islands Society of Human Resources Professionals, their conference that takes place on May 30th and 31st. In studio and telling us more about this upcoming event is Miss Felicia Deslanes, who's a board member, and she's joined by Miss Aris Parchment, volunteer for the conference. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after these short messages.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
After much hard work and planning, the first agriculture show was held on Ash Wednesday, 1967, on the school grounds behind the Georgetown Public Library. When school finished on the Tuesday, work crews worked through the afternoon and night to set up the grounds for the 9 a.m. start to the show. The first agriculture show was a tremendous success and would become an annual event, growing so large that after several years, the show was moved to a new larger location on the grounds on Walker's Road. Success would continue, and as the show grew, it was moved to the cricket grounds near the Smith Road Oval. However, the Civil Aviation Department was not in favor of the location, and property was subsequently purchased in Lower Valley in the early 70s, and the show found its current home once construction of the Stacey Waller Pavilion was completed.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced courtesy of Mr. Charles Lindbergh Eden, The History of Agriculture, 50th Annual Agriculture Show magazine.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
When you need stability, think Business of the Year.
Considering a new career opportunity, think Best Place to Work.
When dependability matters, think Outstanding Workforce.
In need of a reliable financial partner? Think Bank of the Year.
When you seek excellence, think Cayman National.
No matter how many accomplishments we achieve, we always set the bar higher. That's why we are the most awarded bank in Cayman, and we are proud to be your
2018 Bank of the Year.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Always be prepared and ensure your family is provided for. Cayman Insurance Center specializes in life, property, motor, health, and liability at the most competitive premiums and affordable rates on island. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 for life insurance, or Denise Brown at 814-7229 for property insurance. Call them today for all your insurance needs.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Support our port, support our tourism.
Tourism is estimated to contribute 25 to 30% to our GDP, and 80% of our tourism industry comes from cruise. You do the math. It's time to build the piers and protect our cruise tourism industry into the future.
Looking forward, looking bright.
Learn more and spread the word.
Support our port, support our tourism.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. And we're brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 until 9 a.m. We have 2 guests today. In our first segment, we put the spotlight on the Cayman Islands Society of Human Resources Professionals. In studio, telling us more about their 16th annual conference that takes place May 30th and 31st is Miss Felicia Deslandes and Miss Aris Parchment. Now, did you know that the Cayman Islands Society of Human Resources was founded in 2000 by a group of HR professionals right here in the Cayman Islands? Today, the society has approximately 285 members who work in all different levels of human resources. Oh my gosh, you guys keep growing, and here you are putting on a conference. This definitely gotten the airs in the interest of many, but I know that this conference would not be possible without sponsorships.
Yeah, so absolutely. So the annual conference is in fact our biggest event on our calendar. And you know, this is the 16th year, so we've been doing it a number of years, and some of our sponsors who have been with us for several years are back on with us again this year. We're delighted. Our headline sponsor is BritK. BritK have been phenomenal in their support. You know, they offer a number of additional giveaways and items. They're very interactive with us in terms of our planning and our final preparation. They assist with the logistics if we need help, and they're just, you know, a phenomenal partner for us for the conference. 3 other sponsors who have come on board are Dart and Maples, are 2 who've been with us again for a number of years, and we're delighted to have their support again. This year we have a new sponsor from Barbados, so Blueprint Creative. It's Ron Johnson, who is one of our speakers. Wanted to give back in some way. He presented at the conference last year for the first time. I think he was back in Cayman for the Caribbean Tourism Conference as well, and he really enjoys his time here. And he, you know, we were delighted to agree for him to come on board as one of our sponsors. So those are our 4 main sponsors. Okay. The other key sponsors that, you know, kind of make this really happen and add to the environment that day and the climate that day with the interaction, it's really our marketplace sponsors. And Ms. Aris has a list of those persons, again, who several of those come back every year and say, can I have a marketplace booth? And, you know, we're just delighted to have just such a great response from our business community. A few of them are international as well. So we do have a combination of persons who are really interested in supporting the organization, which is really refreshing.
Right.
So we have the Employee Assistance Program, Dick McConnell, HSM, NOVA, HR Certification Institute, Health City, UCCI, Sotheby's, ICCI, Creative Tech, Deloitte, Workplace Environment, Gender Equality, Georgetown Craft, Mindcare, BritK again, and Signature Service Strategy, which is one of our speakers as well. And then Work is going to have a booth there as well.
A new thing this year as well, I may add, is we've actually we wanted to do something a little bit different for our attendees, and so some of our speakers are also authors. So three of the speakers, the international speakers actually are authors as well, and so they have books that they would typically sell. So one of the things that the society has done through the support of our sponsors is we've bought a number of books from each of the authors, and there will be an opportunity for them to have the books autographed.
That's nice.
We're planning for that during our afternoon break on the Friday afternoon. And then, in our evening social on the Friday as well, an opportunity to meet one-on-one with the speakers. Some of the things that we also do at the conference, we actually have a raffle. We have a number of companies that come on board with prizes. What may seem as a small prize actually yields, big results for us, because the Kimpton, for example, has given us a brunch. Some of our, I think some of our other organizations have, provided gift baskets, gift certificates. We'll actually be celebrating with those. But on the day, what we do at most of our events is we have raffle prizes, and all of the funds from the raffle prizes actually go back to our scholarships.
Excellent.
So one of the panelists actually on day 2 is one of our former scholarship recipients who, has acquired her master's in human resources. So she's sitting on one of the panels as well. But giving back to our community and to young HR professionals and persons who want to develop in this field is very important to us. So we don't leave that out. During the 2 days, there are going to be tickets on sale for raffles, and all of the funds go directly towards our scholarships.
Now, if someone is interested in becoming a member, how do you become a member of the Cayman Islands Society of Human Resources Professional?
So we have a form on our website, but essentially the form just requires you to, provide your basic information, your current employment, your current position, and, attach your current CV so that we have an idea of, the type of background, type of experience, type of expertise that you can bring to the society. Essentially, anyone who is working full-time in HR or has, a number of HR responsibilities. So we do have a couple of business owners, one-stop shop kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they do have to undertake a number of HR duties. And so once they can describe those duties, we usually have those as full members. We also have, the student membership and other types of memberships for those persons who are not fully qualified or currently, practicing in an HR role. And so on our website, we have a couple of options for persons who are interested.
Can you? There's always about benefits. Can you share with us some of the benefits that you get by being a member of your group?
So I think I mentioned earlier, one of our big things as a society is just the networking opportunities, and also learning and development. So we have a learning and development calendar. So there's a number of workshops, breakfast sessions, training courses. We have a number of one-off speaking events, with all the activity, for example, with work, and I don't think I highlighted them earlier, but, all the new things that are happening with that
pretty
department.
Much daily.
Exactly, and that have a huge impact on, every work environment in Cayman.
Yes.
We had a breakfast event where, was basically hosted for our members, where we had a personal update from, Chief Officer Wesley Howell on what's happening. They were announcing some of the new appointments to the department. We get access to these types of government departments and issues. We're called upon to provide, feedback when there's legislation changes, when there are a number of things that are happening. And I think more importantly, I think for our members, it's an opportunity really to be recognized. In Cayman, it's not always like it is in the U.S. and around the world, but to be recognized and be able to say a lot of our members are proud to put on their resume or discuss in an interview, and I am a member of the Society of Human Resources, and having those bragging rights are important for us and our members.
Now, are you able to share with us any of the workshops, if there is any schedule for the upcoming months, any workshops that will be held?
Our website actually has our
Okay.
calendar. I don't have that information with me, but
fair.
on our website we do have, there's a calendar on there, and you can see how those workshops and other events are scheduled. So we have things like if people who want to just get exposed to HR, so there's like an HR 101 course, there's information on like labor law, a number of kind of one-off courses and sessions, and they vary. They vary from breakfast sessions to all day to 3 days, a number of days. So
Right.
if you visit the website, there's a lot more information on that learning and development aspect.
Which leads me to, if persons require additional details on the conference, who and how can they get in touch with a representative or Cayman Islands Society of Human Resources professionals?
So we have an awesome administrator. She manages our website and updates. Miss Julianne, and her email address is info at cishrp.ky. She's phenomenal in terms of responding to persons, answering queries. If she doesn't know, she's getting it to the board members, asking, well, I have this question from this person. Right now she's tracking. I think we have, yesterday we had an update. We have close to, I think 130 persons registered for the conference. Usually we anticipate around 200, so the number is a little bit lower, but we were a little bit late in getting out some of our finalized agenda items,
Okay.
I guess given the number of speakers and logistics involved, but it's out there, so we anticipate that persons will come on board and definitely sign up to be a part of this amazing event.
Yes, and I mean, with the word getting out here on the business buzz, let's hope that there will be a positive response and you increase your numbers today by way of this medium. In recap, what main points would you like to leave with our listeners regarding this upcoming annual conference?
So for us, again, this is our biggest event for the year. We're proud every year to put on an annual conference, and this year is no different. Connecting the dots, I think, resonates with many persons, regardless of your profession. Come out, next week, 30th and 31st, Ritz-Carlton. We have a jam-packed day and a half. A lot of networking opportunities, updates from, again, work and a number of speakers. We're promoting diversity, connecting to our communities, crafting culture, achieving advancement. So any of our HR professionals who really want to feel inspired, leave motivated, have tips that you can immediately put into action when you get back to work, then come on out.
Ladies, it has been a pleasure. I want to thank you for allowing us here on the Business Buzz to put the spotlight and definitely help you promote the 16th annual conference that, again, is taking place on May 30th and 31st. All success to you.
Thank you so much.
We've been speaking to Miss Felicia Deslandes, board member, and Miss Aris Parchman, who's a volunteer of this year's event. That was another thing. You need more volunteers? Or you're pretty much okay.
Yeah. So our board come out, all hands on deck with our board on the 2 days. So they're already ramping up for that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, we've been speaking to Miss Aris and Miss Felicia about this upcoming event, and we want to wish them all the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz will be back after 8 o'clock news and a weather update. When we come back, we'll put the spotlight on the Chamber of Commerce, hearing more about the 2019 Economic Forum. Again, the Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211. Also by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products. Business Buzz will be right back after the 8 o'clock news and weather update. Over to you.
Radio Cayman time check is now 7:59. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Price Right. Live better for less.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Price Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Dozens of concerned members of the Beach Bay community gathered at Savannah Primary School last night for a meeting to discuss developers' plans for a hotel resort. The main concern? Most of the people in the community say they felt left in the dark about the developers' plans.
We didn't move to Beach Bay to be faced with 7 Mile. We could have lived in condo land. We didn't want that.
Lindsay Parr is a member of the community, activating the neighborhood sharing information and trying to get to the bottom of what's happening. MLAs Ard McLean, Alva Suku, and Chris Saunders were all in attendance. Mr. Saunders says insufficient communication with the community is the core of the problem.
I think, the part of the concern really is the fact that they have not been given sufficient information. And in order for anyone to make an informed decision, you need to have information. And our goal right now is to go out and try our best to get information to them.
Mr. Saunders plans to follow up with the developer to address the community's concerns. Planning Director Haroon Pandui was also at the meeting to explain how the planning process works. Cayman's Culture and Heritage Policy Strategic Plan is one step closer to implementation with the development of the costed operational plan. Minister for Culture, the Honourable Dwayne Seymour.
I'm pleased to be moving into the next phase of the Cultural and Heritage Policy and Strategic Plan. While the policy does an excellent job of outlining the principles and objectives to support the cultural expression of our people, we will only see the benefits when we implement it. The creation of the costed operational plan is an essential step to doing just that.
The committee is reconvened to begin the process of developing the COP, which will set out the blueprint for executing the policy and ensure the necessary resources are made available. The CHPP, which was approved by Cabinet and tabled in the Legislative Assembly in early 2017, sets out the policy directions for the culture and heritage sectors for the next 10 years. Cayman's hurricane preparedness is being tested later today.
Hurricane Callie has been designed to test the National Hurricane Plan and, of course, those involved in the national response under the NEAC mechanism.
Hazard Management Cayman Islands' Danielle Coleman says this year the exercise format is less formal, enabling participants to consider and discuss how they would react to various scenarios. Feedback and recommendations from participants will be used to update the national plan. And a few more hands are needed to help the National Drug Council in their latest cycle of the prison survey.
This is a public health survey. It is very important because it provides us with information to describe trends in smoking, drinking, drug use, and other risk behaviors among Cayman Islands inmates. The results have been helping stakeholders, government, and prisons to develop programs and policies that ultimately improve the health and well-being of the inmates.
NDC's Louisa McLaughlin tells Radio Cayman the surveys are being conducted this month. Training sessions are taking place this week from 5:30 to 5:45 p.m., and they only last about 15 to 20 minutes. If you're interested in volunteering, you can reach out to the National Drug Council. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Eileen McHugh. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has promised to unite the country after a resounding election victory for the governing BJP. The Hindu Nationalist Party and its allies are projected to get nearly 350 seats in the 543-member parliament. Mr Modi said India had won again and promised to build a strong country. The United Nations has appointed an emergency coordinator to strengthen the response to the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. David Gressley will focus on insecurity in eastern Congo, where the epidemic is concentrated, and on community mistrust. Both have been cited as reasons why the outbreak has not been contained. The British government has postponed a vote on its latest Brexit plan following an outcry from some MPs over concessions made by the Prime Minister Theresa May. The timing of the withdrawal agreement bill will now be announced next month. There's mounting speculation over how long Mrs May will remain in office. South Korea has announced that it will ban parents from inflicting corporal punishment on their children. The policy is part of a wider initiative to boost the well-being of South Korean children. A tornado has caused extensive damage to some districts in the capital of the U.S. state of Missouri, Jefferson City. There are no reports of fatalities, but several people are being treated for minor injuries. Earlier, 3 people were killed by a tornado in western Missouri. BBC News.
Access. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Real estate agents and developers, as well as dealers in precious metals and stones, have until Wednesday, May 29th to register with the Department of Commerce and Investment. The DCI is the agency with responsibility for ensuring real estate agents and developers, as well as dealers in precious metals and stones, are compliant with international obligations relating to anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism. DCI urges businesses to register as soon as possible to avoid missing the deadline on May 29th. Registration forms are available from www.dci.gov.ky or the DCI counter at the Government Administration Building. For further details, please contact enforcement@dci.gov.ky.
Hi, I'm Dawn McLean Brady, President of the Cayman Islands Small Business Association, better known as CISPA. Small businesses drive Cayman's economy. As small business owners, we depend on government to create an environment where we, as entrepreneurs, can do what we do best, and that's to provide products and services that are valuable to our customers and, in turn, employ others. The cruise piers and cargo ports provide these opportunities. Encourage our government to build a port and let the Caymanian entrepreneurial spirit shine. Support the port, support our tourism.
Good morning, Cayman. We soon return to the business buzz. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Present temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Conditions are partly sunny. Relative humidity 83%. Winds are out of the east at 5 knots. Barometric pressure is at 29.91 and holding. Moderate winds and seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge of high pressure over the northwest Caribbean. Isolated showers are also expected as an upper-level trough moves over the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers in and around the area, which is moving towards the northwest. Forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Later on this evening, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. We're now in a low tide, which kicked in at 6 minutes ago at 8:02. It's going to be high at 12:50 this afternoon and low at 7:02 this evening. For tomorrow, high tide is at 2:23 a.m., low at 9:12 a.m., high at 2:11 p.m., and low at 8:16 p.m. Sunset this evening is at 6:55. Sunrise for tomorrow at 5:49. And the outlook is for similar weather conditions through Saturday morning as the upper level trough lingers over the northwest Caribbean. That's your latest weather right here on Radio Cayman. Business owners, managers, and marketers interested in learning how digital and social media marketing can help grow your business? Join Yellow Media Group Monday, May 27th at Yellow Digicon and unleash your company's digital potential. Learn from international digital marketing and social media experts, including speakers from Google and Matchcraft, plus a Fortune 500 digital marketing strategist. Complimentary registration for Yellow Media Group customers. Register now at digiconcayman.com or findyellow.com. Presented by Yellow Media Group in partnership with Google.
It's time for Tool Fest 2019, May 24th and 25th at A.L. Thompson's. Pick up their flyer loaded with the best savings of the season. There are 8 pages filled with deals, and they're just the tip of the Tool Fest iceberg. Save 15% in the entire tool department. Enjoy in-store demos and gifts. Meet with the experts from Milwaukee, Stanley, Makita, and others. The savings don't stop there. Trex Stacks, Shop Vacs, and Valspar Paint are all 15% off. Tool Fest on May 24th and 25th only at A.L. Thompson's.
Good morning. Your latest traffic conditions right now, of course, still coming out of the east. We have a heavy, steady flow of traffic along Shamrock Road, which is moving along at about between 10 to 25 miles per hour or so. Heading down the Linford Pearson Highway, it's a little bit backed up. And of course, similar on Crew Road, the traffic coming off of Linford Pearson Highway through Agnes Way, it's very much slow with merging traffic off of Crew Road. And down Bobby Thompson Way as well, very much slow at that intersection at the traffic lights. But once getting onto Huldah Avenue, onto North Sound Road, or whichever direction you're heading into, you'll experience some free flow of traffic. Streets in Georgetown are very much clear. Looking at Edward Street, Main Street, Shannon Road, traffic is moving along quite good. Godfrey Nixon Way, looking quite good. Eastern Avenue. And of course, the Esley Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moving along quite good. West Bay Road, also looking good with traffic coming into Georgetown. Experience some delays at certain stops. It's the latest traffic report right here at Radio Cayman. Buckle up and stay safe.
Celebrate Cayman invites you to be part of 60 Acts of Service. Join your countrymen and women June 1st and 2nd as we work together to make the Cayman Islands a better place for all. Volunteer for one of the projects: a building restoration, tree planting, safety programs, beautification initiatives, and many more. Pick a project that appeals to you. No cost is involved. All equipment is provided with refreshments and an appreciation party for all volunteers. Sign up before May 29th to participate in the Celebrate Cayman 60 Acts of Service. Find the projects and register at www.celeratecayman.ky. Celebrate Cayman 60 Acts of Service, June 1st and 2nd. Join your community. Transform your country.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Business Buzz.
Good morning and welcome back to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz, and this is our second segment of today's edition. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. This segment, we put the spotlight on the Chamber of Commerce, hearing more about the 2019 Economic Forum. I'm pleased to have joining me in studio to tell us more, Mr. Will Panu, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Good morning.
Pleasure to have you back and keeping us up to date. But exciting things are happening and definitely building momentum for 2019 Economic Forum. Tell us more about the objective of the Economic Forum.
Well, the objective is really to have a conversation between government, the private sector about issues of significance. And last year we started that discussion, giving people updates on the different industry sectors. Mm-hmm. And this year the council has decided to put the emphasis on economic sustainability. As you know, the economy is going through a bit of a growth spurt, which is fantastic. We definitely welcome growth. But with that growth, there are a lot of issues that begin to emerge. The infrastructure, housing, roads, labor demand and access to labor, education and training. All of these issues are that we want to really talk about at the forum so that people can have a good conversation and also help the government to understand some of the opportunities and maybe some of the challenges that are being faced.
Right. How many years has this event been taking place here in Cayman?
It is the second consecutive year, but we used to do it. We did have done economic forums in the past when we did the Future of Cayman initiative several years ago when we were in partnership with government back then as well.
Okay. Now let's talk about the importance of partnering with the Cayman Islands government and various sponsors to make this forum possible.
Well, we couldn't really do this without the support of government, so we're really delighted that the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development are our key sponsors for this. But this year we've also have the Department of Tourism that have come on board. They're going to kind of showcase the Dream in Cayman campaign and kind of give us an update about the state of the tourism sector. Cayman First is a new sponsor for us in terms of this level. They're sponsoring our lunch, so we're delighted to have them on board. Last year they sponsored the cocktail reception. This year we also have DART, who has come on board to sponsor the cocktail reception for our guests. And then we also have Coldwell Banker on board, as well as Caribbean Utilities Company.
Now, who will be the main speakers? Because that's always something to look forward for.
Well, we're going to have a variety of speakers. Obviously, the Minister, Honorable Roy McTaggart, will provide our guests with an update on the economy generally, how he thinks it's going. He'll have a perspective on economic development overall, the growth of the different industry sectors and his views on that. He'll have an open conversation with the president of the chamber, Chris Kirkernel, kind of digging a little deeper into his talk. And then we have Sharon Rolston, who is one of the keynote presenters, kind of providing everyone with the new strategy that work is unveiling.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, the law has been put in place, but they've been still working behind the scenes to put all the mechanisms in place to bring that law to life. So Sharon will be there. And then we move on to Rosa Harris as well, the Director of Tourism. She's going to provide us with an outline as to the state of the tourism industry, as well as kind of giving us a nice overview of the Dream in Cayman campaign. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's a remarkable campaign that they've put together, which is helping to drive this growth that we have in tourism. And then we'll conclude really with which I think is one of the highlights of the event, which is Cayman at 100,000. We all know that various people have talked about the number of 100,000 population. Well, if we look back in history of Cayman, the population growth is pretty significant. And as you read recently in the newspaper, we now have the highest number of work permits ever granted in the history of the country. So again, that's good news, but there's also some challenges that come with that. And so in order to ensure that we are all on the same page, we're going to have an open conversation about that. What does population growth mean for our country, and particularly the infrastructure and some of the social factors
that comes with that. Now, who can attend this economic forum?
Anybody can really attend it. We obviously are chamber members, so we already have over 150 people coming. Our goal really is to get at least over 200 people in the room for this conversation. And I'm pleased to say that several ministers of government who are coming, some chief officers will be in presence and attendance. We'll have the director of planning in attendance. So again, some key people in the audience that can also add to the conversation and give their perspectives.
So how can persons get registered if they're interested in attending?
Well, just call the chamber. I mean, we'd love to have you call us, 949-8090, or on our website. You can go there. There's a link on the home page, and just register. We tried to keep it very affordable. Very few conferences these days cost less than $100.
It's true.
And ours is only $50, and that really just covers the lunch. And thankfully, the sponsors help us with covering the other expenses. As you know, the Chamber's nonprofit. So what we're trying to do is have a community conversation and a member conversation about the significant issues affecting our economy.
Okay. Now, in your opinion, how is the economic progress measured? And it's a two-part question. How important is it in keeping the cost of doing business and the cost of living in the Cayman Islands as low as possible? People have been complaining that it's just not sustainable when you look at the cost of rent, just the cost of operating a business. When you compare us to other jurisdictions, it cannot be sustained.
Well, the challenge, obviously we welcome growth. I mean, we launched a Growth Matters campaign. We were encouraging growth generally in our community. With that growth does have some challenges, as you explained, one of which is housing. Reality is, as the economy grows, employers are looking for more workers. And now with development being at a robust pace, they're looking for affordable housing. And as you rightly pointed out, when you have not enough supply and a great demand, the people who have the supply have the benefit of increasing prices, right? So the reality, the challenge, and one of the conversations that we have to get with Cayman at 100,000 is the whole issue of lower cost housing to allow for these workers to come in and that they have affordable places to stay. But that's just one of the issues.
And I'm quite sure for those locals who are hearing us, not only for the imported labor, but also for our very own Caymanians, it needs to be accessible. That ability of owning their own home appears to be further and further away. But, that's a topic, and we invite persons to weigh in on that. And you can do that by attending the 2019 Economic Forum that takes place at the Kimpton Seafire Resort and Spa Friday, May 31st from 12 until 6:30 for $50. I mean, this is thought-provoking conversation. Great sponsorships makes this event possible. Mr. Pinu, we got a caller on the line. I'd ask you to put on your headphones. and we'll also be joined by Mr. Chris Colonel, President of the Chamber of Commerce, in a few minutes. Okay, Paul, that caller? Good morning, caller. You're live on the Business Buzz.
Good morning, Ms. Sabrina, and good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was listening to your conversation, and I see, this issue of you happy for the increase of work permit in Cayman and numbers, and you saying about increasing the population of Cayman to 100,000. But I don't see in your conversation anything about solving the problem of unemployment in Cayman, unemployment of Caymanians. I see the Chamber of Commerce always talking about work permit, business people getting work permit, but I never see the Chamber of Commerce urging his members to employ those unemployed. We can't increase the population. We can't increase the work permit in Cayman if we don't solve the Caymanian unemployed problem. And this is show the failure of Chamber of Commerce. And example, the president of Chamber of Commerce, who is now Mr. Kirkconnell, he is one of the biggest business people in this country, and I don't see much Caymanians he himself employ. So that is show that the interest of the Chamber of Commerce is not employment of Caymanians, and I don't see what is the benefit of this conference if there is no in the agenda of this conference solving the issue of unemployment of Caymanians in this country, because the gap between bringing people from different countries and employ them, and still your own people in this country unemployed are and getting poorer. The roads are not handling so much cars in the road. There is no housing enough. There is no cheap housing in this country to take all these people you want to bring. Yes, the government talking about
Caller, can you get your main point out? Because we understand you're entitled to your opinion, but I would like you to just, if you're going to pose a question, we've heard your points. Just leave us with what you have right now so that we can address those concerns that you have.
Of the question here.
Go ahead.
Where is the employment of on solving the issue of employment of Caymanians in all of these conferences?
Okay.
And I don't see that the chamber is doing that, and the failure of the president and the Chamber of Commerce to address that issue.
Okay, we will allow our guests to respond to that accordingly. Thank you for your contribution.
Good
morning and welcome, Mr. Colonel.
No, thanks for having me. This gentleman has called into many shows for many different topics before. I think that one of the failings of his points is that he doesn't fully understand what he's talking about. I think I've just in our company alone, we employ over 70% Caymanians. Mm-hmm. I've invited him to come down and meet them if he'd like, but I don't think that's really the point. He's not really interested in the truth or in what the reality is. So he's welcome to his opinion. I think that one of the beauties of the Cayman Islands and the success that we've seen in our island is that people like him who had to leave a country because there were no opportunities was able to find opportunities in our beautiful island. Mm-hmm. And I think that we're in a fantastic place right now. The economy is in a great growth period. There are tons of opportunities for Caymanians. I think everybody that is interested in having an opportunity, there are opportunities there. Right. I don't think that it is the chambers failing. I think in his opinion, we are not a government body. We are really there to advocate for the best policies, the best processes, procedures, and to hold government accountable. We have no control over any actual government actions. Mm-hmm. The point of the forum is really to have the conversation and let everybody have a say in we have this phenomenal situation in Grand Cayman and in the Cayman Islands. Where do we think the best way forward is? How do we see this going in the best way? Do we want uncontrolled growth? Are there certain areas that we need to focus on? Do we need to look for other strengths of pillars so that we're not just dependent on two main pillars? These are the conversations that we want to have. We're not here to advocate for work permits. That's definitely not
or addressing, as he said, where are you going to come up with making sure that unemployed Caymanians have an opportunity of being employed?
No, exactly.
But it's a twofold, because if we're growing, there are more demands for people to get jobs. Then that may open up as we progress in our growth and development.
Well, that's the point. Is we're here to advocate for economic growth, but also the right type of economic growth. And that's why the focus of this forum for us is a sustainable economic growth. And we're trying to make people really think and provoke some interesting questions and topics for conversation.
Well, definitely, it started. Now, sectors face challenges from time to time, but I'm sure there'll be opportunities for future growth as well. How do you feel government is doing in providing healthy landscape for all sectors to blossom?
Well, I mean, I'll start by saying one of the great experiences that I've had in working with the Chamber, it's my 5th year now on the council, is really seeing and hearing feedback from a lot of sectors that I wouldn't personally be in touch with on a daily basis. It gives you a great understanding of some of those daily challenges, and it has been one of the experiences that I will probably take and grow the most from. I think that government in general is definitely looking at what are all of the industries and what are the opportunities, what are the threats. We can always do more. I think that you've seen that the government has been very active in trying to protect the financial sector. So it's trying to make sure that what we are doing right, we keep doing right, and we do better. To protect those industries, but we also have to look for those other opportunities. I think you see some of the CEC, the Cayman Technology and City, Health City. There's a lot. They're not afraid to take looks into new opportunities, and I think that's something that we have to continue doing, because we can't always depend on what we already have. We have to look at it's an always changing environment. It's an always changing landscape, and technology is a big part of that. So I think that's something that the island really needs to take a focus on, and to look for growth in that future.
You're in tune to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz as we put the spotlight on the Chamber of Commerce, hearing about the upcoming 2019 Economic Forum. The Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, will be holding this forum, and it takes place at the Kimpton Seafire Resort May 31st. That's from 12 noon until 6:30 p.m. Registration is only $50 and includes a networking lunch and cocktail reception. This year's topic will focus on economic sustainability right here in the Cayman Islands. Business Buzz is brought to you and proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about innovations and disruptive technologies, how it could impact on financial services in the future. We'll also dabble into natural disasters, how they can impact economies, and how to prepare for these disasters. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after these few messages.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
And for 45 years, we have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valuable customers and the motoring public of restricted access to McClendon Drive off Dorsey Drive through Friday, 31st May. Access will be restricted from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays. The restriction is necessary to carry out system improvements in the area. Local access only to businesses and residents in the area will be available, and representatives of the authority will be on hand to direct traffic. Traffic signs will be posted in the general vicinity, and all motorists are asked to drive with caution to ensure their own safety as well as that of the Water Authority staff. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its valuable customers as it upgrades its water infrastructure to better serve you, and apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause.
Radio Cayman 3 to 6 mix on the weekdays.
Tune in, turn it up, listen.
Sponsored by the Cayman Islands Football Association, SIFA, building a better future for Cayman football. Savannah Pharmacy. Remember, they are always just around the corner with everything your family needs. And convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Every day. All the time.
Ultimate party show in the afternoon. Radio Cayman Super Jam.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz and keeping the spotlight on the Chamber of Commerce, hearing about the 2019 Economic Forum. In studio, I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Will Panu, Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Commerce, and Mr. Chris Kirkernel, President of Chamber of Commerce. Now, just going straight into it, it has been said that innovations and disruptive technologies will have an impact on financial services in the future. How can we all take a lead in confronting these challenges?
Well, generally, businesses, they're the trendsetters, right? They're the ones that innovate their businesses to become more efficient. They're leading this whole effort in innovation. Mm-hmm. You can see it around the world. And it will impact every industry sector. But like everything else, when innovation comes, it creates different types of jobs. So the reality with all of us is that our education system, we just have to prepare for the future and make sure the students are prepared to understand what they have to study in order to enter the marketplace. Just because innovation, they say, there's lots of people worldwide that say this innovation is going to put people out of work. Mm-hmm. Well, in some cases it does, but in other cases it creates other jobs. I mean, in the paper the other day you saw the whole issue about coding.
Yes.
You know, the reality is coding is the wave of the future. Reality is lots of jobs. There are some countries that I visited where they have entire floors where there are people just, their full-time job is coding. Mm-hmm. And that's what Chris said earlier about Cayman Enterprise City and all these Cayman Technology. I mean, that's where the future is going, and that's, I think, we should be embracing innovation rather than being fearful
of it. Now, with next month being the beginning of hurricane season, we cannot forget the catastrophic damage caused by hurricanes in recent years on our Caribbean neighbors and our own experiences as well. Now, it serves as an important reminder to us all how disruptive natural disasters can be to impact and, how it can affect our economies. What is the importance of business owners building redundancies and resilience into infrastructure and business process so that, if there's a disaster, key sectors can recover more efficiently and quickly?
I mean, I think that that something that's very evident is that after Hurricane Ivan, almost every new commercial development was more than hurricane rated, but also took great effort to make sure that they added generators and everything that people knew about, but until you really experienced that kind of devastation, you didn't fully appreciate what building in that manner and making sure that you have that kind of backup power to be sustainable on your own. How important that was. I think that even some of the older properties have made steps that head in that direction as well. Correct. To make sure that businesses can continue. And I think that every large firm that operates on the island is part of their requirements, and that's the type of development that they look for, which is obviously demand is what creates supply. So I think that there were some properties that were ahead of the curve. So like, for example, the Citrus Grove building, I think, was built to the standards to sustain business after that kind of an event. And you saw a lot of other development in that manner. So I think that Cayman in general, the building standards are much higher than a lot of our Caribbean neighbors, and I think the devastation that you see in some of those countries that are not quite as developed or don't have quite as of an advanced economy. We saw a lot of we saw a lot of benefit from what happened in 2017, and that's been a big part of why our tourism numbers had such a big bounce in 2018. We always have to strive to continue building stronger and better and being more prepared. A hurricane is not something that you can avoid, but I think that in general, our island is much better prepared than most.
Now, how many businesses fall under the umbrella of the Chamber?
We have about 650.
What is required in becoming a member of the Chamber, and how beneficial can it be?
To be a corporate member, you just need a trade and business license or whatever license you have been issued by government for your industry sector. We welcome all industry sectors into our membership. And again, there are lots of benefits of joining the Chamber, aside from the whole advocacy, which is one of the main reasons why many of our members join, but also for training, development. There's also events that we do. There's trade. You realize that a lot more companies, particularly small businesses, are actually doing on the internet, doing small business development and training. There's so many things that are happening in the economy, and the Chamber tries to put on workshops for these businesses in order for them to succeed.
I think that something that not everyone might realize is that no matter the size of the business, if you have 600 employees, 200 employees, or 2 employees, when you're a member, that the business that's a 2-employee business has the same vote as the 600-employee business. They don't pay the same membership fees, so we make sure that it is affordable for smaller businesses. And I think that the Chamber has had such a focus on workshops, trainings, and different events that bring such value that for a small business it doesn't make it. There's almost no sense in not being a member of the Chamber. There's so much added value that they're able to bring either through possible discounts or in services with some of the larger firms, the trainings. I mean, there really is so much that the Chamber offers, and Will and his team do such a great job that the Chamber today is in fantastic shape.
Now, I know I don't know if you'd like to go into the Golden Apple Awards, Excellence in Teaching, and some of the other programs that the Chamber of Commerce has on schedule.
Well, the Golden Apple Awards are a fantastic program. And again, it's another effort for the Chamber and its members to recognize some people, particularly teachers, who are often, we sometimes take them for granted. They're really important in our society. So we launched the Golden Apple Awards about, 10 years ago, and we've honored so many outstanding teachers and principals. The deadline for submitting nominations for this year's consideration for nominations is on the 7th of June. So again, if you know of a teacher that has had a significant impact in your life, or if you know of somebody who has served in education, say for over 25 years, and you want to nominate them, particularly a Lifetime Achievement Award in education. We've honored some outstanding educators. Please do so. It's a great program.
We're going to take our final break for the morning, and when we come back, we'll do a recap and let our two guests, Mr. Will Panu and Mr. Chris Colonel, share and impart with you any additional information they have about this upcoming 2019 Economic Forum and any other information they'd like to share with you. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more after these few messages.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with K-Man Medical Supplies. 100% K-Manian owned. K-Man Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by K-Man Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery. How would you like to drive off in a brand new 2019 all-white Mercedes-Benz CLA 250? On Saturday, June 1st at Mango Tree, you could be that lucky person. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman presents its annual charity fundraising event, Benzorama 2019. That's right, one lucky winner will be announced at the Mango Tree on Saturday, June 1st, and that lucky winner could be you.
If you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance.
Tickets are $25 each, or 5 tickets for only $100. Proceeds from the funds raised go towards various Lions community projects. Tickets can be purchased online at eventpro.ky, or stop by one of our ticket outlets, including Radio Cayman Studios, Funky Tangs, South Coast Bar, Reflections Food for Less, and West Bay Road SO, or can be purchased from any of our active Lions community members. Benzorama 2019. We are all winners once you support the Lions and our community.
Hi, my name is Neraya LeBlanc. I am the minister and evangelist to the West Bay Church of Christ on 24 Batabano Road. I would love to take this opportunity to invite you to experience God's family at West Bay for yourself. We are a caring congregation that strongly believes in reaching out beyond ourselves to spread the gospel of Christ. We also take great pleasure in ministering to the needs of our people in our community. As God's called out kingdom people, we are in the business of transforming lives for the Master's use. For more information, you can visit our website at westbaycichurchofchrist.org or call us at 946-9294 or 917-1809.
Declaring the word of the Lord. Cayman Islands Church of Christ presents Word of the Lord.
Word of the Lord, heard Sundays at 6:30 p.m. on Radio Cayman.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Pretty much home stretch here. The Business Buzz is brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 until approximately 9 and would not be possible without kind sponsorships, the likes of Cayman Medical Supplies and Cayman Insurance Center. It's all about the Chamber of Commerce and hearing about the 2019 Economic Forum. In studio with me, I'm pleased to be joined with President of the Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Chris Colonel, and Mr. Will Panu, Chief Executive Officer. Now, for those who may just be hearing about this, understanding the phenomenal deal, I call it a deal, for the type of information that will be in part, the networking opportunities, $50, they can attend this forum. Anyone can attend this forum. What would you like to leave with our audience about this forum this morning and any other information you'd like to share?
Well, I just think, again, as you said, it's very affordable to come, but the most important part of it is the conversation that we'll be having at the forum. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the economy and getting an update from Minister McTaggart about the state of our finances and economic development generally, if you're interested in understanding the trends in tourism and some of the ideas that the director has about promoting Cayman to the world, or if you're interested in a conversation about what the next phase is for the work program from Sharon Rolston, or really wanting to debate us about the population growth, about, again, come out to the forum and enjoy the conversation. It's open, it's participatory, and we just want to see as many people there joining in.
I'd like to take a chance take an opportunity to just thank those that have already volunteered to speak at the event, because that's really what is going to make it such a fantastic and successful forum. We really have some great topics and some great speakers, and I think that just being able to have that two-way conversation instead of just a one-way speech is going to be a great part of what we do. So in general, $50, you'll get more than that value just in the lunch and the reception afterwards. Not even starting to get into how great the information and the communication is going to be throughout the event. So, Will and his team have put a lot of work into getting this together. We already have quite a number of people that have confirmed to attend. There's only less than a week left, really, because we have to confirm with the Kimpton the final numbers. So the sooner we know, the sooner we'll be able to lock in a spot for you. And I think by this time next week, I would anticipate that we're going to be pretty much fully sold out.
Well, we hope by ways of this medium and getting the word out there with the sharing of it on your social media pages that definitely the word will get out. Any special mentions or recaps?
Just wanted to say thank you to our sponsors as well. We couldn't have done it without them. Again, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, second year running. They're on board with this. Great cooperation from the ministry. The Department of Tourism, for the first time, coming on board to share their perspective on tourism. DART for their contribution for the cocktail reception. Cayman First for their lunch sponsorship. Coldwell Bank, and as well as CUC for their supporting sponsorship roles. Again, couldn't do this without them because, as we know, we're trying to keep the price down, and without the sponsorships, we couldn't have done that. As you know, the Chamber is a nonprofit organization, so what we try to do is keep things as affordable as possible for our members and the wider community. So again, just encourage people, come on out, join the conversation. Don't sit on the sidelines. You can always complain from the sidelines, or you can come out and have your say at the forum.
We have been speaking with Mr. Will Panu, Chief Executive Officer, Chamber of Commerce, and Mr. Chris Colonel, President of Chamber of Commerce, this morning as our guests, and highlighting and promoting the 2019 Economic Forum. It has been a pleasure, gentlemen, and all success.
Thank you for having us.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Give them a call, 949-6211, and also by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday. I'll take a moment to send condolences out to the McTaggart family. The loss of Mr. Roy McTaggart's mom this morning. I'm just getting it to the pipeline. Our thoughts and prayers go out to that family. To our loyal listeners and those who are viewing us via YouTube, because we're streaming live, thank you for your support over there. I've even got some people in Jamaica who are viewing us. Ms. Carol, it's a pleasure to have you viewing and supporting our show this morning, and all the best to you. It has been a pleasure. Until Tuesday, have a safe and fabulous Thursday.
Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by insurance agents Michael Webster and Denise Brown from Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in life and property insurance. Don't take chances with your family's future.